Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm talking about things they don't tell you after you've had a baby, maybe things you may not realise, things you experience after having a baby that might be a total surprise to you. It's going to be maybe a little bit crude. I'm just going to talk really openly about the things that I've experienced as a mum going through 2 pregnancies and what the experience has been like for me and the things that I have gone through and found as I have gotten over those births and labours. So everyone talks about how, like, when you're pregnant your hair gets really nice and thick. Well, I think a little bit they talk about a bit of hair loss after you have the baby, but I guess I always used to think you'd lose a little bit of hair, you gain a little bit of hair when you're pregnant, it's no big deal. But it is actually a big deal. I think it's a big deal because the reality of what happens is, at least for me and quite a few other mums I know, is your hairline recedes backwards. To the extent, for me, that I had to stop wearing up in a ponytail in public because my hairline had receded so much, and it receded, with Squidge it receded diagonally back this way, so I had a massive widow's peak sort of here and it came down. It was really severe. And then when it starts to grow back you get these tiny little hairs, which I've got now. I've got to the stage, so Dot's 6.5 months old. It kicks in about 3 months postpartum, and it goes on for anything from a couple of months up to, some people say, a year of just constantly losing the hair. So mine is starting to grow back here. The hairs are about this long, about 1 centimetre long at the moment, and they'll all be sticking straight up in the air. So there is a really awkward regrowth stage that you go through. But that's not even necessarily the worst bit. The amount of hair you lose is insane. Like, I was having to clear out my brush because it was clogged up every time I brushed my hair, and I'm not exaggerating. Every time I washed my hair, the plug hole would block, and I'd have to get a plunger on it and unblock it because there'd be so much hair in there. And that was with me brushing it before I even got into the shower. Like, it's crazy. There are hairs all over my house, of my hairs everywhere. I mean, everywhere. I have found them wrapped around my baby's fingers. I find them on everything and everywhere. There is no escape from it. And, like, I wear my hair up in the home almost all of the time. I put it up in a mum bun, and so there shouldn't be any hair falling out, but there is hair everywhere from the hair loss. So the number one thing that I found is just the severity of the hair loss. I like to look at my hair, it looks fine. And, you know, it's starting to grow back now. So the other one is having a weak bladder. You hear about mums, you know, not wanting to sneeze because of might have an accident, but the reality, and I think this is more goes with pregnancy than birth, and for me it was so much worse the second time round, is having a horrendously weak bladder. To the extent, yes, if I sneezed I would have a little oops moment, as tenor ladies say. Yeah, like, it was a reality for me. With Squidge I didn't really notice it at all, but when I was pregnant with Dot, my allergies got really severe during pregnancy, and they'd wake me up at about 4 in the morning with just sneezing, and I would be, you know, tiny little bits of wee was coming out. Not very nice. And then after he was born it got worse. Sorry, my cat wants me to open the door for her there. When the postpartum blood loss stopped, I was having to wear tenor lady, you know, I mean, not just panty liners, but proper tenor lady, not pants, but the actual pads, like the fairly thick pads. I had to wear, and I had to change them a couple of times a day, through all of the leaking that was happening, through sneezing, and sometimes I didn't even know it was happening, you know, it was not good. But there came a point where I noticed the pads were dry and all was okay, and I went without them, and then it's been pretty much fine since. But that took a few months to ease off, and it's still not 100%, but it's like, it's fine, you know, I can manage with this, it's not a problem. Having a weak bladder, at least as severe as it is, and especially the second time round, is a reality of having children, and it's not something I ever knew about or ever expected. I thought that was more something that happened to older ladies, and when I say older ladies I don't mean pensioners, I just mean like maybe women of a menopausal age. I thought that was kind of more, because, you know, that's how the adverts are pitched, isn't it? The tenor lady adverts, they're always women, they're out having lunch with their lady friends, you know, and they're like, yeah, I don't know, in their 50s, something like that. But oh well. It's a reality for me anyway, and I'm not even in my 40s yet. This might be one you know about, but it's certainly one that I've experienced, is weak nails. So your nails get super strong when you're pregnant, and they grow really fast, and they're really long and strong, and it's great. You're like, oh, my nails are amazing. Then you have a baby, and then you're like, oh, they're still amazing. I'm doing this, it's great, my nails are awesome. And then boom, like, they disintegrate. Mine would just peel, like the layers and layers would just come off, and like they're super short now, they're horrible. And I'm just kind of hoping, without having to put like gel nails and stuff on them, because that really does ruin my nails, I'm hoping I can start growing them again. But they were just too weak, they were super duper weak. And that happened after having the baby. And what doesn't help is that if you've seen any of my other videos, you'll know I have to be dairy and soya free for Dot, because he has a cow's milk protein allergy. So me not having quite as much calcium will obviously have an impact on that. But most of the things that I have replaced dairy with all are enriched with calcium. So I shouldn't be really having much less calcium than that. The main thing is that I don't have any cheese at all now, because the dairy-free cheese is disgusting. But then I wasn't having that much cheese in pregnancy anyway, because all the nice cheeses you can't have, so c'est la vie. This is one some mums have talked about, and I've seen some videos on here where people have talked about this. And this isn't like a side effect of pregnancy or birth. It's something that kind of, I would say, a lot of mums experience when they're on maternity leave, is loneliness. Now, it's really lonely being in the house by yourself with your child or children, however many you have. You know, children are great company, but we still need to talk to other adults and have grown-up conversations and speak to our friends. And yeah, loneliness. Loneliness is a real thing, and I've definitely found I've been lonely since having Dot. And you know, when my husband comes home, I'm just like, rah, 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 just talking, because it's like the first grown-up I've spoken to all day. There are things you can do. There's an app called Mush, which is a place for mums to meet other mums and just sort of make friends with other mum friends. But you know, like, I've made one friend on there, but most of the time people just use it as another chat app, so or just to find out where mum groups are and stuff. And that's something I don't really, because I'm quite shy in real life, going to groups and stuff, I find it really hard to meet people and to make friends. And I found mum groups not great. I've tried a couple of different ones this time around with Dot. Most of them clash to when I have Squidge as well, and then a lot of them are not friendly for like toddlers. Yeah, but I found that when I've gone to these groups, like, no one's talked to me. They've all just kind of sat in their little groups, and I've just kind of been sat there. And the one group I went to, bear in mind I'm in Wales and people speak Welsh here. I don't speak Welsh. I went to a group, and the only place available was next to these two women who were talking Welsh. And while I don't have an issue with them talking Welsh at all, they didn't try and include me. They just assumed, I guess they either assumed I didn't speak Welsh or they weren't interested in talking to me. And it's just, I have no issue with anyone speaking Welsh here. It's fine, we're in Wales, it's not an issue. But you know, if someone sits with you could at least say Shemai, say hello in Welsh, you know, just be inclusive. Cat wanted to go again. Cats, as soon as you close the door, they're like, oh no, I want to come in. You open the door and they're like, no, I don't want to come in, I just want you to keep the door open. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't want the baby to get out, I don't want it to get cold in here. Oh, cats. What hasn't helped is just after the baby was born, Dot, I had a falling out with one of my best friends, and we're only just kind of getting back onto good terms now. So for that 6 months I had one of the closest people to me not part of my life, which was really hard. I'm so glad things are picking up again now, but yeah, and I found it really hard to make new friends or make other friends, so that was really difficult. But obviously that's very specific to me. But yeah, it is really hard. The best thing I can say with the loneliness is just try and get out of the house. I sort of try to get out a couple of times a day if I'm by myself with Dot. Take him out the pram, go over to Asda, just go for a walk around the supermarket, or just go out for a walk and just get out and just see people. Even if you just see a couple of people to say good morning to, it's better than staying in the house, because I find I really get stir crazy, and it just does me good. It does the soul good to just get out, walk, get some fresh air, and just be outside. You know, it's good. That's one of the, even if you don't get to see or speak to another person, it's really good to just get out. And another thing, so and this is different for everyone. Before having kids, I was never into kids. You know, someone would bring their baby into work and I'd be like, oh, nice, congratulations, off I go back to my desk. But when I was pregnant with Squidge, I remember this guy called Simon, he brought his little boy in, and I was like, oh my god, baby, give me the baby, I'm having a baby, I need to hold the baby. And I was holding the baby and I was like, oh my god, it's the most beautiful thing in the world, I love this baby. And it was very, very exciting. And then every time someone would bring a baby and I'd be like, oh my god, give me the baby, I need to hold the baby, I need the baby close to me. It was a bit weird, I suppose. And yeah, so lots of baby cuddles. And then after having Squidge, whenever we'd be out and about and stuff, we'd see babies, and even my husband, we'd be like, oh look at the baby's so beautiful, oh my god, the babies are so special. We'd both be like gushing over the baby. And yeah, same again with Dot, and yeah, we just, oh god, babies, they are amazing. And I've never been maternal, I've never been into babies, I've never liked kids, really, like I've never really been around them. But now we have kids, we just see them in a whole different light. You know, kids are awesome, kids are hilarious, really proper funny, and from a really young age as well. Like even Dot makes us laugh, he's 6 months old, you know, his timing for things can be really funny. Yeah, and Squidge is just, he's got the best sense of humour, he's hilarious. But yeah, ever since having kids, I really see kids differently, and it's not something I expected. I guess I expected to love my own kids, but still not like other people's kids. But actually, other people's kids are great. You know, you just see it in a whole different light once you've had kids. So that's it. That's kind of the things that I have found and experienced after having a baby that maybe I wasn't expecting. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please do give it a thumbs up, and also do hit subscribe if you want to keep seeing lots of my future videos. And I will see you guys on my next video. Bye.